Hey guys, so this is the Makerfire Micro Brushed Quad, and as you can see here, it's another tiny whip, and it's very similar to the Eachine E010 with a lot of exceptions, and a lot of these exceptions are very good. And just to save you guys a lot of time, if you're considering buying this, my recommendation here right off the bat in the beginning here is go ahead and buy this. It's like about $63 right now. Price varies, of course. It goes up, it goes down, but it's going to be around 60 bucks. It comes basically almost ready to fly. You just need your Spectrum radio because it has a Spectrum receiver on board, but it's all built. There's no building, there's no soldering, there's nothing to do. It just comes in this super nice box here. I'll show that in a second, but it just comes like this, all ready to go, and even includes your 1S battery. This comes in this bottom slot here. You get a charger, of course, a USB charger, and yeah, just flew it. Did like 3-4 batteries, and I'm very impressed. For something this low cost, it's really well polished out of the box. It comes with a SP Racing F3 Evo flight control board. There's the USB plug over there. It comes with Betaflight 3.0.1 already flashed, so there's no flashing to do. And yeah, it comes with stock Betaflight PIDs, but it flies pretty well under stock Betaflight PIDs. Very good control, good rates, and it could use a little bit of tuning, but honestly, for out of the box, this is probably one of the better ones that I've seen of the way it flies right out of the box. Yeah, so let me give you just a little overview of what's going on with this thing. Here we have basically an E010 frame, and they've taken this section where the larger battery goes, and they put some foam in here so that your little stick batteries can slide in there and it won't fall out. They use the same connector here that is on a lot of the tiny whips. It's the 1.25 millimeter JST connector, and that fits all these batteries. And you only get one battery, so it's a little bit of a bummer because it comes with a super nice box that can hold, I think, 6 batteries. So your batteries can just slide in here like so, and this quad just fits right in here, and you can just store it like so. It's very nice. Really, I guess whoever designed this product really did a good job of thinking of the kind of things that people would want to enjoy for this type of model. Now you have this little like molded plastic canopy here, and it does add a little bit of weight. I don't know how much exactly, but I'm not exactly sure if they could have done a little bit something different towards making it lighter, but it doesn't seem like this is all that heavy. I'm gonna just give you a weight comparison to the last super light tiny whip that I built, and you'll see that it isn't that bad. Although I'll have to say that if you're looking for acro performance, then you're gonna have to probably build your own. This is fine for angle mode, self level, and just flying around the house and stuff like that. It's perfectly fine for that. So just to give you the weight, this thing here weighs all up, no battery, of course, is 21.4 grams, which is not bad. It's slightly on the heavier side, but definitely not bad. And this is the one that I built recently. That basically is super light and has the Inductrix frame, which is also very prone to breaking. Comes in at 18.8, and this one can do rolls. I haven't tried this with the rolls in this one, but pretty sure that this is not going to be able to do that because it is heavier, and I'm pretty sure the motors are the slower version. I can tell the punch out's a little bit different between the Makerfire and the ones that I built, and I think these are probably using the 14,600 kV motors, and the ones on here are the fast motors are like 17,300. So it does make a difference in terms of performance, but in terms of level flight and just getting around, it's perfectly adequate and just fine. And you'll be able to do those little tiny whip races and hit those little micro gates, no problem with this thing. It's very controllable and predictable in flight. So the camera that's on here is pretty much the same camera that's on the one that I built. You can see here it says this is a VM275T version 1.0 over here, and this is that Bold Clash one that I did a review on about a couple weeks ago. Put a card up here if you guys want to look at that review and see how this functions. There's pretty much no point in going over that same stuff again in this video. Just go to that video and you'll see all the functions of this one, because it's basically exactly the same, except this one is version 1.2 and it has a slightly different whip antenna on here. It's a little bit stiffer, and you can see the coax is a lot thicker than the one that's on here. This one is a little bit longer but also thinner, and probably is a little bit lighter, which is fine. The video quality is excellent on this. You'll see that in the flight footage. Very good color reproduction. It's perhaps a little bit oversaturated, but no complaints. And also the 25 milliwatt video transmitter is perfectly fine for indoor flight, and you get very good video. So as I mentioned before, this does come with a SP Racing F3 Evo board. It is in the shape of the frame here, and it does come with Betaflight 3.0.1 already flashed. What you do need to do though is, once you do bind your transmitter to this, you do have to connect it to Betaflight Configurator and make sure that your endpoints and your subtrim is centered, so that you basically don't have the thing drifting all over the place. Because what I wanted to do is, and what I'm trying to do a lot in a lot of my videos now is fly these out of the box and get an out of the box experience before I go and do a lot of modifications to it, because I'm finding that a lot of people don't want to do the modifications, or they're just too much hassle, and oftentimes they're turned off by it. They just want to buy something out of the box and go and enjoy it. And of course, as I mentioned earlier before, this is probably one of the better ones if you want to just buy something and go fly and have fun. But you still need to connect it to Betaflight and make sure that your radio is centered, and also the channels aren't reversed. So for example, when I plugged this in, I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to plug it in and fly and see what happens. And turns out that the aileron channel was reversed on my radio. So I was going, when I wanted to go right, I was actually going left. And the yaw channel was also reversed, so I had to reverse that in my radio, and the thing was drifting off to the right because the subtrim was off. It was like, instead of 1500 for the sender, it was like 1523 or something like that. And it's probably because it's a PPM receiver in there, and it's not that, there's a lot of jitter, and it's not that accurate, and it's kind of off. So all the channels were off. The aileron or the roll, the pitch, and the yaw channels were all off. So you got to make sure they're centered, and then make sure you have the proper endpoints at 1000 and 2000 in Betaflight Configurator. So once you get that going, it flies great. The only really tricky thing is to get this thing to bind, and I had a bit of trouble with that, because what you got to do is, there's a bind button down there. Let me see if I can get that to show up in camera. There you go. You have to hold this bind button in. So while that's pressed in, I'll use a screwdriver. You plug in a battery. So you probably want someone to help you out to do this, because it was pretty hard to do. It took me a while to get this to plug in while holding the little button down. But once you do that, then there's a little light on the board that starts flashing. I think it's like a red light or purple light or something like that, and then it starts flashing, and then it's in bind mode, and then you go to your radio and then bind to the receiver, and then you're good to go. But it's a bit tricky getting that bind button pressed while plugging in your battery at the same time, so I suggest having someone help you do that. Maybe someone hold that button down while you plug it in, or vice versa. But once you do that, it's you're good to go. You make sure you plug into your computer through the USB port to Betaflight Configurator. Check your channel mapping, endpoints, and subtrim, and you're pretty much good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll show you some line of sight footage and some FPV footage. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try and help you out. I have a huge playlist of tiny whip videos that this video will go into, and I'll put a card up here for that. I think there's like 20 videos in there if you're interested in seeing all of the old tiny whip builds that I've done, which cost way more than this. I'm really shocked at how cheap that they were able to sell this for. But yeah, now you don't have to, if you just want something to just kind of, fly around the house and have some fun, this is it. And it's like 60 bucks. You really can't lose. So definitely recommend buying this. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the flight video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Just going to do a little bit of line of sight. It's a little bit windy outside, so not going to do it for too long. See how it goes. It's a little punch out. It's got good power. Whoa! Don't let off the throttle. Alright. Some funnels. Hey, the yaw rate's pretty high. Let's see here. Oh yeah, that's pretty high. So I'm flying in angle mode. Yeah, there's the wind affecting it right now. A lot of wind actually. It's into the wind. Oh, you can hear the motors going with the wind pushing it around. A little bit of oscillation there. It flies really well though. I'm actually really surprised how well this thing flies out of the box. This is with this, I think basically a stock Betaflight tune. I haven't touched the PIDs at all, just out of the box PIDs. I think it does still need a little bit of tuning, but not much. Betaflight does have a really wide tuning envelope, so whew. That was full stick forward there. Oh, wind is really pushing it. There goes the battery. Oh! I'm actually running this flight with really old, like 8-month-old MyLipos, and pretty good flight time there, almost 3 minutes on some really old batteries, so that's pretty good.
All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. All my friends are heathens, take it slow. check the guns at the door, doesn't mean our brains will change from hand grenades. You're loving on the psychopath sitting next to you. You're loving on the murderer. You'll think how to get here, sitting next to you, sitting next to you. All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. All my friends are heathens, take it slow.